Ray Bradbury's Something Wicked This Way Comes is coming closer.
Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to another movie review. And this review is going to be on the 1983 Disney horror film, Something Wicked This Way Comes. And the film stars Jason Robards, Jonathan Pryce, Diane Ladd, Pam Grier, Vidal Peterson, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and Shawn Carson. And the film is based off of Ray Bradbury's novel of the same name. And the line, Something Wicked This Way Comes, was taken from Shakespeare's Macbeth, by the quotes here saying, "By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes." So, Something Wicked This Way Comes. I've heard this film. I've seen the trailer to it. By the way, at the teaser, that was the teaser trailer that you guys saw at the beginning of the video. The original trailer was like 3 minutes long, so and that trailer ends up spoiling, a little bit of the film. But I saw the film yesterday. I watched the film yesterday, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed the film. I thought this was a good movie. It's a very dark film. It's a very strange, creepy film. But it's not great or perfect by any means, though. And the film had a very troubled production. Apparently, there was an uncredited script rewrite because Jack Clayton, who was the director of the film, had a falling out with Ray Bradbury. So Ray Bradbury didn't like how the original script was. There was test screenings of the director's cut, which failed to meet Disney's expectations. So because of that, Disney ended up sidelining Jack Clayton. They ended up firing the editor, the original editor of the film. And they also end up scrapping the original score, which they end up bringing in James Horner, who, of course, is no longer with us. So they brought in James Horner to do the music. And they end up spending $5 million with months of reshoots and re-edits and rescoring of the film before its release. And the film had a budget of $20 million, and it only made $8 million at the box office. So the film was a flop. But basically, this was at the time where Disney was doing films with more mature themes. They were trying to get away from them being a animation and family studio. I guess because of this film, Disney ended up creating, the Touchstone Pictures brand, the Hollywood Pictures brand, Miramax, and Dimension Films brands when they were with Disney. So, because that was like the adult brands, film brands for under Disney. But this was the last film under the Walt Disney Productions line before they renamed it Walt Disney Pictures. But basically, what the movie's about is it's about these two boys, Will Holloway, who is played by Vidal Peterson, who is right here, and Jim Nightshade, who is played by Shawn Carson, who is also right here. Love the cover to this. You have the two boys there, and you have Mr. Dark, who is played by Jonathan Pryce there. The carnival, the Ferris wheel there. Really like the cover to this. So, but these two boys, they live in the town by the name of Greentown, Illinois, and they both end up living next door to each other. Will lives with his father, Charles, who is played by Jason Robards, who is on the side here. And you have Jim Nightshade. He lives with his mom. His mom is a single mom. And there's this carnival that ends up come to the town. This carnival ends up arriving on a train, and nobody is shown on this train, which gives it a very creepy vibe. And this carnival is led by Mr. Dark, who is played by Jonathan Pryce. And the carnival is set up randomly overnight, and the film takes place in October. And what this carnival is it's like a temptation, where it's tempting the people of this town to participate in events going on at the carnival. And these events will cause these people to make them, young or beautiful or anything that they want to do in their lives. But all this comes with a price. So basically, that's what the plot to the film is about. It's about these, and these two boys, Will and Jim. They end up, going to this carnival, trying to know more information, what's going on, with this carnival and its secrets. And they have to try to stop Mr. Dark, played by Jonathan Pryce. But basically, that's what the plot to the film is about. But Mr. Dark, who is played by Jonathan Pryce, he plays the villain. Just a really very creepy, strange character. But he's one of the highlights of the film. His role was just awesome to watch. Even though he's playing a creepy, strange villain and leader of this carnival. And you have Pam Grier, who plays the Dust Witch, who is a counterpart to Miss Dark, where she has certain parts in this film. Like she is this woman who is in a block of ice. She's one of the belly dancers, and she's a fortune teller. So Pam Grier, as the Dust Witch is, in certain parts of the film. But Pam Grier is, a great actress. And this is, what Pam Grier looks like in the film as the Dust Witch. And you have Jason Robards, who plays Charles Holloway, who is Will's father. I enjoyed his character. I thought he did a pretty good job playing Charles Holloway. Sadly, Jason Robards is no longer with us. But I do really like the scenes with him and Will. I like the father-son bonding between the both of them. You also have this character who's named Mr. Cougar, who is played by Bruce M. Fisher. And he is assistant to Mr. Dark. And there's a scene where Will and Jim end up heading into this carousel, and this carousel is closed off. And Mr. Dark, Jonathan Pryce, becomes suspicious of the both of them. And so later on, they witness Mr. Dark using the carousel on Mr. Cougar. And we see, the carousel goes around, and what Will and Jim see is they see Mr. Cougar revert back into a little boy, which, it's very strange how the way, the carousel was, going back, and then, Cougar ends up turning into this little boy. And you have their teacher, who's by the name of Miss Foley, who is played by Mary Grace Canfield. She is the boys' teacher, and she ends up suddenly becoming younger in one scene. Very pretty woman when she's younger, but she ends up going blind. She ends up losing her vision. So she ends up getting taken by Cougar to Mr. Dark. So, and there's also another scene where Will and Jim end up heading off to see their teacher, to see Miss Foley, and supposedly Mr. Cougar is Foley's nephew. So, but it's very weird how it was happening. It's a very weird film. There's also the scene where spiders are crawling, with Will and Jim in a room that particularly was done by Pam Grier as the Dust Witch. But if you're afraid of spiders, that scene will just freak you out, because the whole room was filled with spiders. The ceiling was cracking, and spiders end up falling from the ceiling. And there's one amazing scene here in the film where it was Jason Robards and Jonathan Pryce in the library. And Jonathan Pryce had a book, and it was a book that Jason Robards was reading. So Mr. Dark ends up arriving in this library, and as he's searching for Will and Jim, he offered Charles, Jason Robards' character, his youth back, but he ended up resisting. So he ends up pulling Jonathan Pryce's character as Mr. Dark starts ripping up the pages, and he's like naming numbers like 36, 37, 38. He starts ripping up all the pages in this book, and the pages have a silverish look as he's ripping them out. But you could tell at the end that it was reshot, where Jason Robards' character ends up going into the Hall of Mirrors, because Mr. Dark was continuing to taunt him about his age. So you could tell that Will, played by Vidal Peterson, is actually older now. You can see the reshoots, were done right there, where he actually looks older than how he looks, throughout the film. So, but overall, Something Wicked This Way Comes. It's a good film. It's a very creepy, strange film, very dark film. Has a good story. The film is not perfect or great by any means, though, but it's definitely worth the watch. And the film is not on Disney Plus for whatever reason, but you could probably tell because of how dark the film is, and it's maybe too scary for young kids. Like I said, if kids watch the film, if they were maybe 5 or 6 years old, 4 around there, they would be creeped out. They would be scared of this film. So, but overall, very enjoyable film. And the DVD only has the trailer to it, the 3-minute trailer. But just definitely worth watching this film. I think it's very underrated, though. It's a very underrated Disney film. So, but Something Wicked This Way Comes. Definitely check it out. It's a good movie. Very enjoyable. So, anyways, that's it for my review of Something Wicked This Way Comes. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. And definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And until next video, which will be the AEW Dynamite review. Till then, I'll see you all later.